If you didn't pre-order the Perfect Grid Unleashed RX78-2 and you're hoping to buy one just in time for the holidays, well, good luck in finding one because it is sold out everywhere, and even on Hobbylink Japan it is on back ordered status. So I kind of know the reasons why. I mean, obviously, number one, the pent-up demand is really high for this kit, and secondly, you have people like this, buying over 30 plus units from big camera outlet in Japan only to scalp it afterwards on the aftermarket for more than 10,000 yen above the asking price. The kit itself retails for 25,000 yen. You can probably get it cheaper at some stores, but if you look at how much the aftermarket is selling now for this kit, it is going above 35 to 38,000 yen. I think the scalpers know that a lot of people will be still staying indoors in the next couple of months because it's going to take some time to get the COVID vaccine. So I suppose this is the same situation as the PlayStation 5. Some will have it, some will pay for it, but I think for an item like this, which is not a limited edition or a exclusive edition, I think you should probably wait out and not give in to the scalpers. At least that's what I think, right? So in case you're wondering why you can't get one, this is the reasons why. I even tried to pre-order this with the local V stores in Malaysia, but unfortunately most of them have already sold out their pre-order slots, so it is going to be a while before we can get our hands on this kit for review. So while we wait to get our hands on the Perfect Grid Unleashed, I thought it is great to look at what's new in this kit, and first up are the plated parts. At first glance, when I first saw the official pictures, I thought all these new plated parts are in silver color, but apparently you get 3 separate runners, one in silver, one in matte finishing, and one in chrome. So this is actually a very nice addition to the Perfect Grid Unleashed line. What this does is, when you put on the armor parts on top of these plated parts, it actually gives it a very nice die-cast sort of a look, without actually having to use the material such as the metal parts, which will make the kit a lot more expensive than it should be. So this is actually a very nice addition to the Perfect Grid Unleashed. Secondly, which is a very nice welcome, and that is the introduction of the real grid-like frames into the Perfect Grid Unleashed. And I mentioned this before when the Perfect Grid Unleashed was first announced back in Q3. So for those of you who have assembled the real grid kits before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There is a semi-finished frame for the arms and also for the legs that you can just pretty much just snap them off the runner, do some twist and turn, and it is ready for assembly. So very happy to see this technology being brought forward into the Perfect Grid line. Hopefully we also see this in the Master Grid line in the future. And if you look close enough in this picture, you will notice that hey, certain parts actually have 2 separate shades of gray, 2 different colors. And this is also the third point that I want to make up here. This is again something very new. You actually get to see 2 separate colors being printed on, or being manufactured by Bandai on a singular part, and that is actually very, very cool. First time seeing this, and that actually makes the entire kit looks a lot more detailed. And if you paint over those parts as well, hey, I'm not complaining about this. I hope we get to see this in the Master Grid line in the near future. Third, and I think most importantly, at least for me, if you have gone through marathon sessions of building gunplas, you will know that it is sometimes a very big pain having to locate runners, looking for specific parts, and moving between pages of your manual. Well, they have actually this time made the entire building process a lot easier. Obviously there is phase 1 to phase 5 that is already made known, but if you look closely at the manual itself, they will actually tell you, hey, you have finished using this part, you can actually throw this runner away, or in the runner itself, they will actually have an icon of the specific parts of the entire kit that you are actually building. So you know that, oh, this specific part is meant for the arm, this specific part is meant for the skirts. You will know exactly where you are building, and that makes the entire building process a lot quicker and easier as well. Something new, Bandai has actually made some of the gates easier to come off. So for example, like the N1 gate here, you can just snap them off very, very easily without having to use your nipple. So very, very cool. New item coming in at number 4, and of course this is the first time we are seeing Bandai doing this. You see this quite often in other third-party kits, and also you can buy third-party etching parts as well, but this is the first time Bandai is introducing etching parts into the Perfect Grade line. What is different between this and third-party etching stickers? Well, the ones from Bandai actually comes with adhesive, so you don't actually need to use super glue or you need to apply glue on your own. There is already glue applied at the back of the etching part, so definitely makes the whole kit, as I mentioned earlier, together with the chrome silver plated parts, makes the whole kit looks a little bit more die cast in my opinion. And of course, there is also the new 3D printed stickers, which gives the kit a bit more of a 3D like effect on both the red and the green parts. I'm not sure how these guys will look, whether they will look too flashy like those foil stickers, but definitely, again, this is something new that we have not seen before, and hopefully this will come to the master grade line. Unfortunately, there is no water decal, so you will have to make do with what is in here. It's regular stickers, there is no water decals, but at least you get new 3D stickers and also etching parts for the Perfect Grade Unleashed. And just a bit of word of advice, if you're putting on the etching part stickers for the Perfect Grade Unleashed, do be careful. First up, you need to remove the clear plastic sheet in front of you and then the outer layer before actually using a tweezer to remove the actual etching stickers to be displayed onto the parts itself. This is definitely a lot different from those third-party metallic and etching part stickers that you see, because most of the third-party ones do not actually come with adhesive, so you actually need to use and apply super glue, which is quite a long and painful process. So definitely a very big thumbs up to the team in Bandai. I would say that putting on the combination of the etching parts together with the chrome, silver, and also the matte finish parts onto the Perfect Grade, you would be hard pressed to actually tell the difference between what is actually die cast or metallic parts versus actual plastic finishing parts on the Perfect Grade Unleashed. I know some of you Gunpla fans have been complaining for a while now on why Bandai don't include more metal parts onto their kit. Well, your prayers have finally been answered into the Perfect Grade Unleashed. This time around, they're actually giving you metal parts for the backpack thrusters and also for the Vulcan gun on the head of the RX78-2. And that's pretty much it. If you compare this with the older generations of Perfect Grade kits, such as the Perfect Grade Wing, where there's actually more metallic parts, I mean as in die-cast parts on the frame itself, such as on the legs and on the torso, well, this time round, you're not really seeing that many die-cast parts, and I guess that is one of the reasons why the kit is so competitively priced. I think if Bandai included more die-cast parts such as what we've seen before in the past, I'm sure that this kit would definitely cost way more than 30,000 yen. So that is definitely something very, very new and something we've not seen before. What was surprising to me was the pistons that we've seen on the leg. Initially, I thought the pistons were also die-cast parts, but surprisingly, those are not. Those are just chrome plated parts, and the only die-cast parts that you're seeing here are on the backpack thrusters and also on the Vulcan gun on the head of the RX78-2. The sixth new gimmick that's coming into the Perfect Grade kit is obviously the LED, and I didn't really pay attention to the official press release and notes when it was first announced, but apparently the LED kit on the Perfect Grade Unleashed is not as simple as what it seems. At first glance, when you look at it, for those of you who have built and collect the Gashapon toys from Bandai that actually has light up effects such as the Kamen Rider and also the Ultraman series, you would immediately recognize this LED unit. It is the one that used to power both the head and also the chest of those characters, and this is being introduced here for the Perfect Grade Unleashed. And surprisingly, the gimmick is actually quite fun. So how you actually turn on and change the colors? Yes, you can actually change the colors. It's just by opening and snapping back and forth the chest torso, and that will actually change the colors from green, red, yellow as well, and blue. So that's actually a very new thing that I just discovered, because sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I don't pay attention, but this is something new for a Perfect Grade Unleashed. The only thing that I don't like about this mechanism is I kind of wish that they implemented the same mechanism such as the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam, where you actually use three AAA batteries, but obviously that limits the fun to play without having to be attached to the base. But the thing that I don't like about this is how small the battery is, and it's gonna be a pain to find those small batteries to be inserted into the LED unit itself. And a very big shout out to Schizophonic9. You should check out his website. He actually has a very detailed review of the Perfect Grade Unleashed and even a comparison with the old original Perfect Grade Granddaddy on his webpage. So a big shout out to him. Please go and visit his page. The images belong to him and not to me. Now let's get back to the Perfect Grade Unleashed. Coming back to the LED again, right? There is sometimes I always wondered, especially with most of the fans out in the market, that we've seen third-party kits implementing LED onto the beam saber, and finally we have our beam saber here. It's a BR435, so it's gonna be interesting to see how we're gonna find a replacement for that if we lose it, but that is basically what powers up the beam saber, and it looks really cool. Coming in at number 8 is a very new part for the arm and the wrist. This is a new metal part being introduced for the Perfect Grade Unleashed, and we hope to see this being translated down into the Master Grade line in the future, hopefully Bandai. But we do know for sure this will be a permanent fixture in all the upcoming Perfect Grade that we will see in the future. So this new metal part is meant to help improve the articulation of the arm and also for the hand. So it is actually quite cool to see the amount of freedom of movement that is afforded to the hand once you actually put on this metal part. So good job Bandai in introducing something totally new for the kit and basically makes it more worthwhile for us to buy the kit. On number 9, and this is something that is not new, I think most Japanese builders have been using this technique for a while now in all their custom build, and that is the introduction of magnets. So yes, finally we're getting to see magnets in a Bandai kit, in the Perfect Grade no less, but yes, at least we get to see the magnets introduced here, where you can actually attach the magnets for the shield, so you can actually attach the shield easily to the arm without having to find a particular peg hole to actually insert in. I mean, fans would know that it's actually quite a pain, especially when you're trying to find a small hole, especially on a Master Grade or on a high grade line. So very cool. Hopefully we'll get to see more magnets introduction into the kits in the market. But if you guys want to do this on your own, I think you can just go to a local Daiso and buy the small powerful magnets to insert onto your custom build kits. The other new gimmick that we've seen, and that is actually quite interesting as well, is for the beam raffle. This is on number 10. For the beam raffle, what there is definitely great part separation, but what is new here this time around, it's not the ball joint for the handle, but it's really actually, if you look above the trigger, there's actually a dial where you can actually spin the dial, and the moment you spin the dial, it will actually activate and trigger the trigger. Sorry about the pun, but yeah, that's what it is. So you can actually play around with the beam rifle without having to attach it as a stationary weapon on the Perfect Grade Unleashed. So you can actually just turn around the dial and just see the trigger activate itself, and that's actually quite a fun, cool gimmick introduced in the Perfect Grade Unleashed. Something new that we have not seen before. And finally, this was something that I think no fans have asked for, but Bandai has decided to come up with a very cool gimmick for the shield's eye hole, right? So the gap between the shield, where the RX78-2 is looking when he's defending himself while attacking, that piece of eye hole window can now actually be covered up manually just by sliding the cover up and down. It looks quite such a simple technique, but we were just wondering why Bandai didn't introduce this earlier in all the Master Grade and also Perfect Grade line. So there you go, guys, a very cool and simple gimmick that we have not seen before, and finally it is appearing on the Perfect Grade Unleashed. So that is the 11 new things coming in for the Perfect Grade Unleashed RX78-2, and this is the final product of how it looks like, courtesy of PG Studio over in Taiwan. If you want to see this kit in person, you can go over to Gunpla Base Taiwan to check out the kit on display today. Definitely the kit has quite a lot of good points going for it. The terms of articulation, the gimmicks, the LEDs, the etching parts, even the magnets itself. I think this is basically what Gunpla fans have been wanting on the wishlist for the longest time. It looks great, highly detailed, great articulation, and I think most Gunpla fans will probably want to have this in the collection and to build, because the build experience itself, from what we've seen on the manual, 72 pages, it's definitely a very different and unique building process altogether. So definitely a kit that I think most Gunpla fans would want, and I think that is also one of the reasons why a lot of people are abandoning somewhat from the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam version car, because both of these kits, price point wise, are just too close to each other. And I'm starting to see the MGEX price coming down a lot since the Perfect Grade Unleashed Unicorn RX, the Perfect Grade RX78-2 has been revealed. So I would also like to hear from you guys, are you still buying the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam, or are you just focusing on this kit, the Perfect Grade Unleashed RX78-2, right? So a very big shout out to PG Studio for allowing us to use his pictures. Do check out their YouTube channel. They've actually posted a very detailed step-by-step WIP build for the entire kit on their YouTube channel. So highly recommend getting that if you guys want to see their entire build process. Today marks the opening of the Gundam Factory Yokohama, and I think for fans in Japan, they are lucky enough to be able to enter and buy exclusive merchandise from the site. But for the rest of us, I'm sure you are just like me, wondering when can we actually travel to Japan. So that is the biggest question mark that we have, but I'm sure most Gundam fans would want to at least visit this place once in a lifetime. They are going to tear this down by end of next year, I believe, right? So what's cool is when you actually buying the ticket to actually go and see the moving Gundam itself, you actually be given a form to decide what you actually want to buy from the factory. So I thought that's actually very, very cool, exclusive merchandise, and you can't make the decision once you're in there. So I think it's a very good system also to prevent scalpers from buying too many units of a particular merchandise. But given that this is Gundam Factory Yokohama itself, I don't think there's going to be a lot of issues of not having enough exclusive merchandise for sale. And if you are buying tickets to go to Japan to visit the Gundam Factory Yokohama, do take note that there is no airport in Yokohama. You have to pick the two biggest airports in Tokyo to actually transit to Yokohama by train. And one of the airports that I would actually recommend is actually going through Haneda Airport. Haneda Airport is not the main airport. Obviously, the main airport is Narita Airport. But Haneda Airport today actually has a brand new spanking Gundam cafe. It's a pop-up cafe that will open until next year. And in this cafe, as you can see here, you can buy quite a lot of Gundam related merchandise, memorabilia, souvenirs that you can only buy from the actual Gundam cafe in Daiba City. So that is actually one of the very cool place that I would want to visit, because there's so many things here, especially the Gundam cups that I really want, but you'll not be able to get anywhere else unless you visit the official Gundam cafe itself. So if you guys are planning to stop by Yokohama, do think about transiting via the Haneda Airport in Japan, and you get to buy all this cool merchandise that you won't be able to get anywhere else unless you visit the Gundam cafe. So very cool. Looks like all of us Gundam fans are missing out. There are also some special exclusive limited edition Haneda Airport items that is on sale only at Haneda Airport itself. So yeah, very challenging here. But I think for us, I will probably be saving up for the Perfect Grade Unleashed once it's available for purchase. But for now, I'll probably also be saving up to visit Gundam Factory Yokohama before they actually tear down the big boy from the site. One of the new items that slipped my release radar schedule is actually this guy. This is the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam version car version TWC. So you can only buy this at Gundam Base Tokyo, and you're probably wondering, what's the difference? Well, there's only two things that's different with this kit. I mean, obviously number one is in terms of the marking. So with this kit, you will get exclusive TWC markings only here with this kit, and secondly, the entire kit itself is the same with the exception of the backpack. If you look closely here, the thrusters of the backpack, there's some additional parts that's in here that you can't get anywhere else. So yeah, essentially it is the same Master Grade Extreme kit that we have seen before, but with different marking and also with a different backpack. It's probably something that you want to get just to stand out from the other MGEX that's been released out in the market, if that is your thing. Bandai is also announcing a brand new Pale Rider project, so I expect to see a lot more Pale Rider kits in 2021. This is the Pale Rider Cavalry, coming in at 2,420 yen, and yes, it is a premium Bandai kit. This is coming from the Momoso Gundam Gaiden Missing Link series, and I have to say, the kit itself looks really awesome, especially the main weapon. Of course, the special armament Shekina is reproduced here. It's a brand new weapon that I've not seen before, and I have to say, I'm kind of wondering when the kit itself can hold up the size of the weapon given how heavy it looks from here. But overall, the kit looks really good. Quite a lot of details, and you can reproduce with two different colors for the heads and also for the body. And I have to say, the torso and also the backpack, the 6 thrusters on the back is really good looking. I'm kind of hoping that Bandai will actually commercialize this as a master grade kit, but unfortunately right now this is a premium Bandai only exclusive, and seriously, to be frank, at 2,420 yen it is not exactly expensive. I really dig the 6 thrusters look on the backpack, and I really want this kit, but Malaysia do not have premium Bandai as of now. So that's our episode for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and staying with us on all the latest Gunpla and Gundam news. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you down in the comment section below.